Welcome to today's video. Really excited about today's video. I have been sitting down for the last hour applying my makeup. This is what it looks like. You guys are gonna learn how I achieve this, but I'm using pretty much all new products. Most of the products in here I'm using for the very first time. Like I literally just unboxed them and put them on my face. There are a few products that I am gonna use in this tutorial that I've been using for a couple of weeks, but for the most part, all these products are products you have not heard me talk about on my channel or on Instagram yet. And I'm gonna wrap it up at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that on some of the products that really jump out as potential favorites. So stay tuned for that. I discovered some really great ones. So without further ado, let's get started. So I have all the makeup laid out here on my desk, so nice and neat and pretty. My makeup room is usually a total chaos. It's so messy. No matter how hard I try, I cannot keep it clean, but my desk right now is pretty organized. So I would say 90% of what I'm gonna use today, I've never used. I literally just pulled it out of the boxes. I've got a trash can filled with boxes here. And then a few products are pretty new, meaning less than 3 weeks of application. So I am so excited about this guy. I just unboxed him. This came in my proscription box by Camera Ready Cosmetics. I have to recommend this as a gift, you guys. If you want to buy someone a gift, and I think this retails for $55, and that price range, this is fantastic. It's a little mirror that you can wear. You can put it like this, and it has, it lights up. You have 3 different lighting settings, so you can adjust it, you know, based on how much light you want. It's so cute. And then this folds in, and then I think it even has a little kickstand here. Is that what that is? Okay, maybe not. I can't get that to open, but I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out and get more information on it. I love RIKI loves RIKI products. It also comes in a really great box, which is over there, but it just makes a great gift. I think the way that it's presented makes a really nice gift. Okay, enough jabbing, let's get started. So first, I'm gonna start with a product that I've actually been playing with for a couple of weeks. It is the TULA Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. It's filled with probiotics and superfoods. It's a very hydrating primer, which is really what I want this time of year, and it has like the most subtle glow to it. It's not gonna leave the skin really like glowy, and how should I say this? It gives you that glow from within look. So it's not gonna look like makeup. It's gonna look like healthy skin. Now I am gonna be applying a matte foundation. So I like to kind of create the perfect primer and foundation creation cocktail by using a more moisturizing primer with a matte foundation, because it just balances that. If I use a mattifying primer and a mattifying foundation this time of year when my skin leans a little more dry, it's just too much. It's too matte. So this really gives the skin a bit of glow before I go in with a more matte foundation. This is the Dior Forever foundation. This is not new. I've been wearing this for a while. I really, really like it. It's a really nice, natural looking matte foundation. It offers really great coverage and it lasts all day long. And a little bit goes a long way. So I like to start in the center of my face and kind of like spread it so that it really, you know, covers well in terms of like coverage area. And then I like to press it in to get good coverage in terms of, you know, covering blemishes. And then when I get out to the jawline, I kind of work in little circles. And I'm using the BK Beauty 106 brush. I really have not put this foundation brush down in like 4 months. I love this foundation brush. It's my favorite. Now I just go in with 1 pump of the foundation. If you feel like you're using more than that, one tip, you guys, is to not actually pick up your product with your brush. One tip is to use your finger to dab it and then use your brush to blend it, because any tool that you use, whether it's this brush or another foundation brush or a sponge, anytime you pick it up with your tool, it's going to kind of absorb a little bit of that, and it's not going to go as far as if you were to use your finger and then blend it out with this, if that makes sense. All right, so I have about that much left on the hand, just enough, I think, for the forehead. What I love about this primer too is it really helps your foundation go a little bit longer. And that's kind of typical with most primers, but this one I find it works really well because it is so hydrating that it has a really nice consistency that the foundation really just spreads and goes a little further than if I were to use more of a mattifying primer or a primer that has that real like noticeable silicone slip to it. This one is just really, it feels like a moisturizer, quite honestly. That's exactly what it feels like. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to apply my concealer, but before I do that, I'm gonna apply a little bit of this Glow and Get It Cooling Brightening Eye Balm by TULA. I was so excited to receive this and try it, you guys, because this is like all over Instagram. Like all of my blogger friends love this. They rave about it. And so I was like, and I don't have anything really like this. I don't have anything that's a balm for under the eye that you can use under or on top of makeup. It gives now this is not going to replace my eye cream. For me, this really is a before concealer product. It has a really nice light slip to it, but it's also hydrating. It has the most subtle luminosity to it. So it really is going to give the under eyes like a brightening effect. And then I'm going to use the Josie Maran Vibrancy Concealer. I'm just going to use a little bit of this because putting that eye balm on is going to help this go a long way. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit. Then I'm going to use my finger to kind of spread this. I just want to spread it so I'm getting good coverage. Then I'm going to go in with a beauty sponge and I'm just going to blend this under the eye. The reason I used my finger first is because I really didn't apply a lot of this concealer. If I had just gone in with my beauty sponge to blend it out, that concealer wouldn't have gone as far as I needed it to because I didn't have enough there. If I would have applied more concealer, then I could have gone straight in, but I needed my finger to kind of spread it around so that I made sure that I got coverage everywhere. There you go. Do you see how it just like gives the like most subtle brightness under the eye? It's really, really pretty. This will also help like calm down any puffiness under the eye. I actually keep mine in my skincare fridge and it feels so, so good. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna apply this bronzer that I just discovered. I sure hope this is still in stock because I've actually had this for probably 6 months and I didn't open it until the other day. It's the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow Bronzer and I have the shade Faux Tan. It's a liquid bronzer. Now you can use this with your foundation if you wanna mix it with your foundation to have an all over bronze glow or to tweak the color of your foundation if you've gotten a tan and you're a little darker. I'm actually going to use this in place of my powder bronzer and I'm going to use the smallest little pump of it and I'm going to use the 101 foundation brush by BK Beauty to apply this. This is such a beautiful, I wore this the other day, but this is the second time I've worn it. I haven't worn it much, but I'm just going to go and apply this right where I would apply the bronzer. You can see that. It also works great as a contour, and I find this brush makes it so easy to apply. You could also use the 106 by BK Beauty. You could use a beauty blender or a sponge. Really any kind of rounded, soft foundation brush. And I really am just pressing on top. It's not hard. You know, just put the product on and then press it. And if you have the right brush, it'll do all the work for you. And I'm actually going to start at the hairline on this side. The other side I started at the cheek and it got too much product there. I wanted the majority of the product back here at the hairline. I think during the winter months when your skin is drier or you're kind of lacking that glow, switching to cream or liquid products for blush and bronzer can really just kind of help balance that dull look and add some glow to the skin. This is actually one of the first times I've used this brush for a liquid bronzer or contour, and it works so good because of the flat side. I mean, you can really get at that hairline and it's got that nice pointed tip, so you can get very, very precise with it, even though it's a larger brush. Okay, so next I'm just gonna set the center of my face. I'm gonna use a little powder. This is not a new product. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, and I'm gonna use a tiny, tiny bit of this just in the center of the face, and that's really it. And then under the eyes as well. Okay. All right, moving along, let's see. So I have 2 new brow products to share, and this will be the first impression. I just opened these today. They're by Cosmetics. So I'm gonna use their Fine Liner Brow Pencil, and they sent me the shade Blonde, which I hope is gonna work for me. It's pretty light. So it's a very fine micro point pencil. It almost kind of reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. Is that right? Yeah, the Brow Wiz, the really fine one. I find that I have to put a lot of pressure to get a deeper color. It does look like it would be a great shade for blondes, but for myself, I don't know that this is gonna... Yeah, unfortunately, you guys, it's too light for me. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I need to switch over to my normal NYX brow pencil. Just one sec. All right, so this is my Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. Is that right? Yes, Ash Brown. Okay, so now that I have my brows penciled in, I'm gonna use a brow gel, and this is by Cosmetics. This is their Blonde Brow Cream. Again, they sent me the blonde. but that's okay because I do have a good base with a pencil. I think this will still work. So this is what the applicator looks like, really, really fine and small, which I love. I love brow applicators like this because I feel like it gives you a lot of control and precision. And because I don't have a really full brow, it's perfect for what I need. I think that it works great. Even people with full brows or large brows, this will work great because it is a great shape for the bulk of your brow, but it's thin enough to also kind of run through the thinner part of your eyebrow. Okay, so that's working well. Even though I don't have a lot of brow hair, some of the ones that I do are a little wild. They kind of want to do their own thing, grow in different directions. And I do think that this is like pushing them down and keeping them in place. So that's nice. Yeah, it is actually. There were some wild ones and it really set them down. So this is great. I do like this. Okay, so for the eyes, I am going to start by priming my eyes with a LORAC eye primer. And I am going to use a Laura Mercier Caviar stick. I've used their product before and I love it, but I did receive a new little set from my prescription box by Camera Ready Cosmetics. It's the Eyes of Gold Mini Caviar stick, and it has 4 different shades, and I think I'm going to play with a few of them. But before I do that, I'm going to put a little eye primer. It's not necessary to do this because those caviar sticks are long wearing. You don't have to really worry about them creasing, but my skin's a little dry and I want something that has a slip to it so that when I go in with those caviar sticks, they blend a little easier, or I have more time, I should say, to blend them. I don't find them hard to blend on their own, but when my skin's dry and I put a product on it, sometimes it just decreases that time you have to work with it before they set, and I need a little more time. All right, so I got 4 shades and I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade first. It is the shade Rose Gold, and I'm gonna apply this just in the inner corner of my eye, just to kind of give a little brightening. And I'm actually just gonna use my finger to blend this into the lid, and I shear it out. I just want a nice sheer application of that. Okay, then next I'm gonna go in with this shade, what is this called? Burnished Bronze. It's a very, very like warm red bronze. I'm like the worst at doing swatches, you guys. Well, there you go. We'll just see it on the eyes. So I'm gonna apply this onto the eyelid, and I'm gonna start kind of applying it almost like a thick eyeliner. I'm not gonna be too careful because I am gonna go in with a shadow brush to blend it out. One thing I do wanna make sure that I do is apply it pretty evenly at the root of my lashes because I don't want you to see any skin peeking through. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm gonna go in pretty quickly to blend this out. And I am gonna use a brush. I'm gonna use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And I'm just gonna run it really right over. You wanna blend it out before this sets because it's a darker shade. If it sets and I don't get time to blend it, it's really not gonna move. That's kind of a pro of the product, and also a con is that once it sets, it really doesn't move. So you don't have to worry about it creasing or fading, but at the same time, if you're trying to shear it out or blend it out, you kind of gotta work before that happens. That's kind of working as my primer slash base. Next, I'm gonna go in with my LORAC Pro 4 palette. Now this was in my Camera Ready Cosmetics box. This is the first time I've opened it. I still have the little sticker here on top of the mirror. Really beautiful, warm, kind of rosy palette. I'm gonna go in with the shade Rosebud, which is this one right here. And we're gonna apply that into the crease. And for that, I'm gonna use my BK Beauty. Do I have my 201 brush here? Yes, there it is. One of my favorite blending brushes for giving a real kind of blown out blend in the crease. It's just nice, big, and fluffy. So I'm gonna apply this right into the crease. I really like LORAC's palettes. And for some reason, they don't get a whole lot of love on YouTube. I don't know why that is. I talked about it in my last video that when I used one of their palettes, which was actually pretty recent. Every time I use them, they're just real consistent. They have a nice color payoff. The only con, I think, is how much kickback or fallout they have. They don't really have too much fallout on the face. It's more so in the palette. If you're careful when you apply them, it's not an issue. But they're real pretty. And all the palettes have a nice color scheme. I think that they do a really great job of laying out the colors. That is so nice. Okay, so next I want to go in and add a little bit of this shade. It's called Iced Rose. And I want to add a little bit of that just in the inner corner of the eye to brighten that area a tiny, tiny bit. I like to tap my brush off because they do have a lot of fallout. I don't want that to be on my face. Okay, the last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my 202 crease brush. It's a little bit more tapered, more precise, gives you a little more control. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's called Cognac. It's a brown mid-tone shade. And I'm gonna apply this just in the outer corner and kind of work it into the outer part of the crease just to give a little more dimension there and kick up the glam just a tiny bit. I still want this to be, you know, soft and pretty and wearable for day. I don't want it to be too dramatic, but I do want a little more depth there. So for my brow highlight, I'm gonna go into the palette and I'm gonna grab the lightest matte shade right here, and we're gonna apply that right under the brow. I'm using the 205 BK Beauty brush. You always use this for my brow highlight because it has the perfect little contour right there. Let me show you that it just fits under the brow arch perfectly. I'm finding I'm having to mix the matte and the shimmer together to get the brightness that I want. The matte on its own is not bright enough for me, for my skin tone, so I'm mixing the shimmer one too. To line the eyes, I'm actually gonna use the Caviar Stick in the shade Cocoa. This also came in the set. It's like a dark brown, and I'm just gonna run this on the lash line. Looks like a thick, chunky eyeliner. Then it's a little thicker than I want it to be, so I'm gonna go and kind of smooth it out a bit. I'm gonna use a tiny, tiny little angled brush. Look how little this guy is. This guy will be available in a few short months, yay! And I'm just gonna run right over it, and I'm gonna pull it out to kind of wing it out. This brush, you guys, makes winged eyeliner so simple when you are working with a shadow or a creamy liner like this. So I've added lashes, and I also added a little liner on the lower lash line. For that, I did the same Caviar Stick in Burnished Bronze, which is the first one that I did that. And then I did the shadow that we used on in the crease on top of that to kind of smoke it out. I think it gave it a really nice, pretty, kind of like rosy bronze effect. For blush, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna apply the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Magic Hour blush. And this looks like a baked blush. I don't know if it's for certain it is, but it looks like a baked blush based on the shape of it. I really like the packaging. It's got this like magnetic closure. I love the color. It's really, really nice. And I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 104 brush to apply it. The color looks to be a really soft, peachy pink, kind of like an apricot color with a little pink to it. And it looks to have the slightest bit of shimmer to it. Oh, that's really pretty. Very soft and natural. Oh, that's really nice. And the shimmer, I would say, is just the right amount. I'm real careful about shimmer that I put on the cheeks because my pores are like large and in charge there, and shimmer can kind of magnify that. But that looks really nice. It gives a highlight, but it's not like super, super shimmery. Of course, the more you apply, the more shimmer you're gonna get, and I'm kind of starting to get a little out of control with it. So I'm gonna go in with the 105 brush, which is our large buffer brush, and I'm just gonna kind of press it over that to soften and blend that out a little bit. Okay, for lips, really excited about this. I have some really fun products to play with. So the first product I'm gonna put on the lips is, what shall we do? I have so many options here and I don't know what to do. I think we're gonna do this little bitty tiny lipstick from Wander Beauty. It's the shade Upgrade, and I have to show you this set that it comes in. I hope these are still available. I've actually had these for about a month and I haven't had a chance to get on and talk about them, but it's the Cloud 9 Mini Lipstick Kit. It comes in a little booklet like this, and it is the cutest little thing. You get 4 lipstick shades in here and a little tiny mirror, it looks like, which I haven't taken out, but it is so, so cute. These are the shades that you get. They all look pretty neutral. One of them is a little bit more red, then you kind of get like a rosy, then you get a little bit more of a pink, and then more of kind of like it looks like a caramel neutral shade. So I'm using the shade Upgrade, which is more of the rosy nude color, and I'm gonna apply this all over the lips. I should mention that to prep my lips, I had on the Glossier Mint Balm.com. This is a new product I picked up a few weeks ago at the Glossier pop-up store here in Austin, which I don't think is there anymore. And I love, love, love it. It's such a great product. I got the mint flavor and it is so nice. Okay, so I'm gonna put this all over the lips. Ooh, that's pretty. That is like the perfect rosy nude. It's got a good level of pigment. It's not like super pigmented to where one swipe and you get full coverage, but you can build it and get full coverage. Like I would say this is a full coverage lip, but if you want something a little sheer, I think one swipe will do it. Oh, this is so nice. This color is like perfect. I'm gonna kind of press the lips together. I really love this color. This is like a great everyday pinky nude shade because it has enough color. It's not too muted, but it's still light and nude. I love that color, it's so complimentary. I almost don't want to put anything on top of it, but for the sake of trying new products, I am gonna put a gloss on top. So I got a couple of products for M Cosmetics. Let me see what I have here. Okay, we're gonna put this shade right here. It's called Mochi, and it's a very, very lightly tinted, soft baby pink. I'm just gonna put that right on top. Oh, that's nice. It doesn't change the color much. And this is the final look. I really love the way that it came out. I think I discovered some really great products here. Let me see what the standout products to me are. I think definitely this Wander Beauty lipstick is so beautiful. If it comes in a full size, I'm definitely gonna buy it. It's the shade Upgrade. It's like seriously the perfect nude pink. I do like this gloss a lot by Wander Beauty. No, not Wander Beauty, M Cosmetics. I like it a lot because it doesn't change the color, but you can see how glossy and shiny it makes the lips. It's very thin. It doesn't feel thick or sticky at all. It has a nice applicator. It's got a little bit of a flexible tip to it, so it's easy to apply. It's just a great lip topper. If you want to give your lips some gloss, but you don't want to alter the color, this would be a really great one. What else do I like? I like the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. I already knew I loved the formula, but I do like the shades. In particular, I think my favorite would be the Burnished Bronze. Really, really beautiful. Definitely the two TULA products are standouts to me. I've been using these for a couple weeks and I really love them, especially in this like winter skin foundation routine. Love, love. Love the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow Bronzer. I sure hope this is still available. I have been sitting on this for a while. This was sent to me in PR a long, long time ago, and I hope it's still available. The shade Faux Tan, love it. What else? Did we try anything else that I love? Those would probably be the standout products. And actually, I have to say this blush, the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow blush is really nice. It's just like the perfect peachy pink. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. All right, you guys, that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave all your questions, comments, all that good stuff down in the comment section below. As always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.